following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Welcome to Victory Monday here on the Players Lounge. First win ever of the Mike McCarthy era. I'm Newy Scruggs, longtime Cowboys reporter, joined by two former Dallas Cowboys players, Danny McCray, Barry Church. All right, let's just get the particulars out of the way, gentlemen. We did our predictions on Friday, and I'm just going to remind everybody exactly who said what. Barry Church.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that, Newy. Let's go ahead and do that.
You predicted a 38-32 Cowboys win. So you had the Cowboys winning by 4 in a high-scoring game. Very close. Very, very close. I had a more lower-scoring game. I had the Cowboys winning by 2, 23-21. And somebody had picked the Atlanta Falcons to win by 3, 24-21. That would be the man from Houston, Danny McCray. So, Barry, congratulations to you. Yes, congratulations to you.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Just, a little bit, I had to put my GM skills on there. I had to put my coaching skills and predict this. I knew it was going to be a high-scoring affair. And, just listen to church. That's it. That's all you got to do on the show. Just listen to it. You'll be perfect if you do that.
McCray, you can apologize. Go ahead.
I think this is hilarious. I've never been so happy to be wrong. But as we get into this show, y'all can sit here and act like y'all thought this was gonna happen all y'all want to. But that first quarter opened and I was on y'all text line and we all had the same thought. This was ugly. This was ugly.
Newy, one more time.
I was wrong. I take that.
What I predicted. One more time, just.
Barry Church predicted a 38-32 Cowboys victory, a high-scoring affair. Okay. And you were 4-point. You picked a 4-point win. I predicted a 2-point win in Church. We're right there. You and I believed that the Cowboys could come out and get this thing done. And Danny McCray, I'm going to tell you this, all right? What I did do after the onside kick, I immediately, because I was sitting in the press box, I immediately went to Twitter and look back on every bad thing I said and delete it. I had one over said, "This is over. It's over." I delete it. Just out there. Then there was another one I put out there like, "Oh, the crowd is done with this team. They know it's finished." Delete. So I covered my tracks, man. Cover my tracks.
My boy Newy was tearing up all the receipts, man. Because I'm telling you, I was looking for him.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
That ain't right, man. Hey, own your stuff, Newy. Come on, man. Don't be that guy. Man. Go ahead and own it. Hey, you said it. You said it. Own it.
Be that guy. Be that guy. It was rough, man. It was rough. Look, the Cowboys are now 1-1 and they're tied for first place. And that was an unpredictable scenario as we looked at the first quarter. So let's dive into this right here on the Players Lounge. Brought to you by Hotels.com. It was disgusting to see the way the Cowboys were shooting themselves in the foot with fumbles, fake punts. They did not come out ready to play. And I'll be the first guy to admit, I used to nail Jason Garrett all the time. But, man, what's your team doing? Why is your team ready to play? The Cowboys were not ready to play here. And one of the things I couldn't wait to talk to you two about, because you guys made the Cowboys as undrafted free agents because you were on special teams. C.J. Goodwin is a guy, first ever guest we had on the Players Lounge last year. He was right there, slipped, could not catch the ball, and then Chris Jones, it was almost like he tried to aim the football there. So what goes into a fake punt call here? And talk to me also about the second fake punt that they ran on a 4th and 5. How do those things work on special teams? Start with you, McCray.
So usually, the coach will watch the film and they'll see a certain way, like on the one with C.J. Goodwin where the pass was short, you would watch it and you would see the corner or the guy who was covering him bailing, right? So you would see him bail all the time before the ball was snapped. And you see that on film and you say, all right, this is a chance for us to get a fake punt because, no matter how he plays it, he's going to be 5 or 6 yards away from the receiver. and they got the look that they wanted, and unfortunately on that one, Chris just shorted the throat. On the second one, usually it's the same as defense, right? On offense, you say, hey, if we got a box where we have more guys that can block, that can come make the tackle, then that's a favorable look for us. So we'll run it. Unfortunately on that one, I think the defense had more guys in the box than we had, that we could block, so it didn't work out for us. But it's really just all based on looks that you see throughout, that coach's career or what they've done in the previous games, to give you the mindset to go in and run those plays.
Yeah, both of these calls were head scratching calls for me. I mean, Danny, you put it right on. You put the nail right on the coffin when you said about the technique and how each play is pretty much developed and what makes them go for the call. But on both of these instances, if I'm not it's incorrect here, they were both on the Cowboys side of the 50-yard line. So it was just kind of head scratching that you would make a gamble like that. I understand that your defense wasn't stopping anybody all game leading up to those points, but to give them a short field, that was a little bit of head scratching to me. But for me, I'm surprised that Chris Jones wasn't able to make that throw. I mean, for those who do not know, Chris Jones is one of the most athletic guys on the team. I mean, he's always up for that, offseason award for being able to stand or be able to be a skill position as a special teams player. So I was surprised he wasn't able to make that throw. But the most head-scratching thing about it all, and Danny, you can attest to this, is that gut call up the middle where they run, where they snapped it to the PP and he's up the middle. That's usually reserved for like a 2 to 3 yard, cloud in the dust type situation. They had about 4 or 5 yards that they had to get here, and you're snapping it back to the PP who's 5 yards, and you're snapping it back to the PP who's already, and for those who don't understand, PP is a personal protector. Yeah, and he's already 8 yards back. So that, to me, that was a bit of a head scratcher. Danny, I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about here. I thought that gut call should have been more of a 2 to 3 yard fourth down conversion instead of a 4th and 5. So they were both head scratchers to me.
Yeah, I honestly don't think they should have ran either one. I think they had more of a chance on the first one, because it was earlier and it was perfect, right? They lined up perfect. They read that cornerback, and he always did the same thing, and he did it on that snap. The play was just shorted. After that, pack up your bags, man, and all right, we tried it, and let it ride, right? You tried it, it didn't work. You come out there and do it again. I remember I text you guys, and I was like, man, these coaches must be like, hey, they walk up to McCarthy and be like, hey, I'm running a fake punt right here. All right, cool. And then it didn't walk off. Because it doesn't sound like they no explanation. No okays. Yeah, no nothing. It was just like, we trying this on this. I'm like, well, what are we doing? But we get it too. But it was a lot of, head scratching calls and choices that were made from the coaching staff that we luckily, overcame just by the talent and play of our quarterback and our skill position players.
Staying on the point there, what you said, Danny, it was almost as though, hey, there are no bad ideas, guys. Fine. You want to do it? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. What was head scratching about the 4th and 5, and I talked about it on NBC5 last night. Jacques Taylor brought up a great point. He says, if you're going to go for it with 5 yards to go, don't put a bunch of special teams guys out there and give the ball to Darian Thompson, and this isn't what he does. Go give the ball to the $16 million running back, or give it to the $31 million quarterback, or throw it to the $20 million receiver. Put it on the guys you are paying money to get these kinds of yards, not put it on these other guys here with a trick 'em. So that was the interesting thing. And so, Barry, I'm going to start with you on this, and Danny, follow up. Has Mike McCarthy gone too overboard with the analytics here? We're looking at the fake punts, deciding the Rams game not to kick the field goal, deciding in this game against Atlanta to go for a 2-point conversion and leaving your team down 2 scores. Has he gone overboard, Barry?
Yeah, I think he's gone overboard. I mean, like I said, both of those scenarios where the fake punts and all that stuff was going down on 4th down, they were both in the Cowboys territory. So like I said earlier, you're leaving this defense who's already shorthanded. They're down to their 3rd middle linebacker. You're leaving them with a short field. I mean, I just didn't understand that. And I think they were getting a little bit too cute in deciding how to go for it. I think you made a great point there. If you're 4th and 5, don't leave it in the hands of, like you said, special teams unit. Leave it in the hands of the guys who do that for a profession. Your quarterback is $31 million, like you said, and down the line. Let those guys get that 4th and 5 for you. That's why you pay them. That's why you invest in them. But to get back to the point, I think McCarthy got a little bit too cute. I think He's going down the line of where he doesn't want to be considered like a safe guy, like how Jason Garrett was, who 4th and inches. I don't know if I want to go that. So he's looking like he's want to be like a Riverboat Ron type of guy and go down swinging. But this could have cost his team in the long run for sure with these head scratching moments.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think analytics was out the window. I saw straight panic. The game was getting ugly, and it was like we got to do something to turn this around. And the first fake punt was evidence of that, and it could have worked. Sometimes the good call is the good call unless it goes wrong, and then we tried for the second one. So I saw panic, and I thought it just didn't make sense because you already had your defense out there on with short fields, from the beginning of the game from the turnovers, and then. Like we talked about with special teams, what you want from your special teams is, okay, every once in a while, yeah, you can run a fake punt, make that splash play, but you want it to be successful. But you want your special teams to put your offense or defense in the best position to have success. And giving them the ball in their own territory is not a good plan for success. And we did that twice. And after the first time, I'm like, hey, man, just move on. And we just didn't do it. So to me, it didn't make sense. You know how your defense is playing. You know you got some injuries. You know you got some young guys out there. Help these guys out. And at that point in the game, special teams did not do that.
I went and checked out the stats because I like to kind of pour over a couple things after the game to see, okay, hey, what certain stats can really tell the story of a game. And last week, one of the big statistics I thought that told the story of the football game for the Cowboys was in the red zone. They were 2 for 4. And that the Cowboys needed to improve upon that. And so you look at the game and the stats where it goes in the red zone. Cowboys, 5 of 6 in the red zone, and Atlanta, 2 of 4. Score more touchdowns. You win the football game. Cowboys win it by a point, 40-39. And then looking at the second half possessions, the Falcons defense did not stop Dallas at all. Cowboys scored on 5 of 6 possessions, and the only time they didn't score was on when they turned the ball over on downs. But they were a machine. It was truly a tale of 2 halves. And to me, once again, if the Cowboys can figure out how to make these, stop kicking field goals and score touchdowns, they're going to have an opportunity to win games, McCray.
Listen, look, we won, right? And I'm happy that we won. And I'm still going to sit here and say, look, what we expected to happen with Atlanta's defense happened, all right? So, if we could get it together and we could call some plays and we're going down the field and we get it rolling how we got it rolling against Atlanta, we can definitely win some games. But we got to come out and we got to start faster than we started this week and last week because, the competition that we have coming up is if we start that way, we're not going to get any wins. But I did like the way that the offense started rolling in the second half and we started getting some of our playmakers involved. And that was very positive to see because I've been on the play calling for a while. So hopefully we continue that, and that just wasn't our, we have nothing to lose, so let's try to catch up and run everything we have got. Hopefully that is the game plan moving forward.
Look, I will give credit. I have to give a little bit of credit to Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy because they did not give up on the run. I mean, down 20 points, they could have simply said, you know what, throw the running back out the backyard. Let's put this all on Dak's arm. But they didn't do that at all. They kept with the run. They gave him 20. It wasn't flashy or anything like that. They gave him 22 carries. I think he had around 89 or 90 yards. It wasn't too flashy. But what I think it did was he pounded and consistently pounded this Atlanta defense. And if you saw in the second half, there was a lot of missed tackles on that Atlanta side. And I think a lot of that has to do with the pounding that Zeke was able to put on these guys. If you saw that goal line run, I think it was like 3 yards to the touchdown. And he ran smooth through DeMonte Casey. He wanted no parts of the rest of the game, I think, after that. And I think his pounding to that defense had a lot to do with their second half success.
Hey, listen, question, because I may have missed the beginning of the game, but I think, did Tony Pollard start the first series?
The first 2
both
carries.
They put them both in the game.
They
put them both in the game, and they gave Tony the first 2 carries, and he fumbled the second.
Yeah, okay.
They had Zeke blocking.
Because we was talking about head scratching stuff, I'm just trying to, level it all up, make sure I got it all listed out. Because I was watching the game, and once again, this dude's on my fantasy team, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" This is another one of those secretive things, right? They probably showed that in practice, right? And they didn't want us to watch practice. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna come out, and the way that we really gonna fool Atlanta is we're gonna give TP the ball first."
And look, I'm gonna give him some advice. Don't do that again. All right, just don't do that again. All right, listen to church. Don't do that again. All right.
I just want to do that as you're praising Kellen Moore. I just want to make sure you remember that's what happened at the beginning of the game. That's all.
Yeah, Kellen, man. Look, stay away from Madden. All right, I know that looks good. Madden have the two backs out there. You got a receiver. Don't do that, man. Just stick with the guy that can carry this offense, man. Oh man, that was a head scratcher for sure, man.
Look, the coaching decisions in this game, and overall, if we're giving the Cowboy coaching staff a grade, Church, what grade are you giving them based on this Atlanta game? What would you give them?
Look, it was like you said, man. It was a tale of two halves. When you're looking up in a dictionary, this game's film should be on there. As terrible as they were in the first half, I gotta give this coaching staff a B-, man. I got to. They had a patchwork offensive, a B-. I gotta do it, man. Just because it was the tale of two halves. Just that first half was atrocious. I mean, it was the decision making was downright awful. I understand that, but the way they were able to patchwork this offensive line together and get the second half rolling, I can't say that it was just all terrible. Man. I mean, those 3 first quarter turnovers were terrible, but I'm at least giving them a B-. At least giving them a B-.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. For your argument, the best thing that could have happened for the best thing that could have happened for our O-line is the injury to his attack that got hurt.
McKinley.
That was the best thing. That had nothing to do with coaching. He was wearing the offensive line out before he got hurt. They didn't pass together nothing. I'm giving them. Listen. D's get degrees, all right? So we got the win, so they getting a straight D from me, all right? They get the D. It was, whatever. Be a gambler, do all this, from bringing out every single one almost of the kickoffs and get tackled inside the 25, to the fake punts, to going for 2, to running Tony Pollard at the beginning, it's 100 things, right, that could have cost us to lose the game. Thankfully, we were playing Atlanta 28-3, and they're known for this, and they gave us the game back. But they got to get a D for this one, man. It was just so many things that they did wrong, so many just bad calls, stuff that make you wonder, where have you been? Have you really been studying since you were off? I just didn't understand it from a Super Bowl coach. And of course he's gonna get better. Actually, let me not say that. We hope that he gets better, in making these decisions, and he kind of, tell these coordinators, this is what we're going to do. And when they start saying, hey, we're going to run a fake punt every time, tell them no. But they get a D for this one, and Atlanta saved us. And, Dak played great. We came back, but Atlanta saved us. We got up too early. They got up on us too early. They took the foot off our throat, and they couldn't put it back on after we started rolling.
I got to take a break after hearing that from you, Church. I got to recover.
Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Before you go, Newy. Real quick. Cowboys Nation, before y'all go ahead and listen to Newy and listen to Danny, these are the same 2 people that said Dak Prescott is not worth $42 million. If it was up to them, they would go ahead and sign Andy Dalton for a lesser deal and let him see what he can do with this talent. So before y'all go ahead and listen to what these guys got to just remember,
Church lying?
They backtrack a lot. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
We got to address this when we come back, because Church been over here putting words in the mouth, out of context, all this.
That wasn't what was said on Friday? That's not what was said on Friday? I'm confused.
Let's address that.
I don't know.
We have to take a break here. We will set Barry Church straight because his listening skills are not right there on point. We'll address this after the break right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream Soda and Dr. Pepper time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Ah, music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
Back to the Players Lounge.
"12 Cowboys Way" brings high-rise luxury apartment living within steps of the Dallas Cowboys headquarters at the Star in Frisco, providing luxury amenities, multiple floor plans, and unparalleled conveniences. 12 Cowboys Way is where elite living meets exclusive access. Leasing is available now. Book your virtual or in-person tour at 12cowboysway.com. You're in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. We are in our SWBC Mortgage virtual in-home studios. I'm Newy Scruggs, longtime Cowboys reporter. I was at the game last night, and we bring in Danny McCray and Barry Church, 2 former Cowboys players. Now, let's pick up on the slander that Barry Church threw at us last segment towards McCray and I talking about Dak Prescott.
Most deserved.
Okay, so McCray, I'm going to let you go ahead and address Barry right here before I do.
So let's start off with what Barry, I don't know, is misinterpreting, because what we said was, if Dak does not make a deep playoff run, the Cowboys will likely not pay him over $40 million, and they probably shouldn't if he doesn't make a deep playoff run, and they could go in another direction. Newy said Andy Dalton could be an option. I said we don't know who will be available, but if somebody else is available for cheaper, like, you know, that is a quality quarterback, then yeah, they'll probably make that decision. We didn't say that, you know, that's what they should do today. All right. And 2, come on, Church. You watched the same season as I did last year, and you saw. Listen, as a matter of fact, as the first quarter was going on, I got a phone call, and the dude who called me had Dak on his team, and I was like, "Hey, bro, don't worry. You know Dak gonna get these trash yards anyway." All right, this is known. This is known. If versus anybody else, those are trash yards, and that's a loss. Versus Atlanta, that's a hell of a comeback, and more credit to him for doing it because he does make it happen. But if you do that every game and you lose, and Dak come with 6,000 yards and 40 touchdowns, and you don't make the playoffs, you ain't getting $45 million. I still believe that. So that's why I met with Dak. It was a great game. He played an amazing game, amazing comeback, taking nothing away from him. But that playoff run is still necessary for him to get the money that he wants.
Okay.
So
it's political season.
Go ahead, Newy.
Okay, it's political season. And what you just did in that last segment, Barry, is akin to you turning on the television and you hear Newy and Danny hate Dak Prescott. They never like him. They don't want to pay him his money. In fact, they want Andy Dalton to get all the cash for less money. Vote Barry Church in 2020. He's for Dak Prescott. That is what you threw out there, misrepresenting the facts, and it's okay. It's okay. My shoulders are big enough to take it. Okay, but what Danny said is totally different than what you interpreted, but that's okay. That's okay. What I am happy for Dak Prescott, let me make sure I run off the numbers for the folks out there. 34-47, 450 yards through the air, 1 touchdown pass, 3 touchdown runs. First player in NFL history to have 3 touchdown runs and over 400 yards passing in this game. Dak Prescott, in my opinion, for the second straight week, took the Cowboys down the field where you wanted them to. Last week, that catch that Michael Gallup made was nullified, okay? But he went deep, may make that catch, and I know you two agreed with the PI call. I didn't. But the Cowboys are right there in range to kick a field goal, to take it to overtime, if not possibly try and throw to the end zone and win the game. And then here he is again. Second half, he had a fumble, by the way, which led to an Atlanta touchdown in the first quarter. But the second half, 5 of 6 scoring drives for the Cowboys. He led them to the win. He did what you want him to do. He did what a guy who's asking for and wants to have one of the better contracts out there. And I tell you what, because we were all watching the Cowboy game, and I was kind of peeking out of my side eye watching the Rams game because I had Tyler Higbee on my fantasy team. Did anybody look at Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz is not playing well at all. Carson Wentz is the last thing he is a franchise quarterback. The way he's playing, 2 costly interceptions, 1 in the end zone. And how many times, I can't tell you how many times I do these interviews with NBC Philadelphia during the Cowboy week, and it's always who's better quarterback, Dak? Who's better quarterback, Wentz? And I'm like, yo, you guys took this dude second overall and paid all that capital to trade up to get him. You gave him $127 million, and let's be honest, this is a guy who's not played well since Frank Reich left the building. So many people who picked Philadelphia this year were putting it on Carson Wentz. Pete Prisco, CBSSports.com, he said that Carson Wentz was going to have an MVP-like season this year as he picked Philadelphia to win the East. You didn't see anything MVP the past 2 games. This was a game in which the Rams came out, beat him up over the head. Philly made a comeback, and Carson Wentz threw him out of the game. Then I bring that up to say, you go back and you look at Dak Prescott. People said, this guy, not worth the money after game 1. He put on a performance. And for some folks out here in Cowboys Nation, you're still down on Dak Prescott. Talk about his empty calories that, hey, it was garbage time. He won the football game. He got the win. Nobody called Tom Brady's win over the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl garbage yards. Nobody called it empty calories. You know what they called it? They called it a victory, and they called it a Super Bowl win. This isn't a Super Bowl win, but they won, and they're now tied for first place versus being 0-2, getting ready to go to Seattle. Dak Prescott should be the NFL Offensive Player of the Week, in my opinion. I don't know how anybody else beats him for what he did as his team was down 20 points. They come back and get the victory. So, boom, yeah, 7 apiece.
Yeah, it's only garbage. It's only garbage yards if you lose or if you're not playing Atlanta. All last year they were garbage yards. This one wasn't. And like I said, shout out to Dak, man. He played his butt off and got him to a win. One of the best comebacks I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. So I'm not down on Dak. But if he doesn't make a playoff run with all this talent that he has, it'll be some people that's down on him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm huge on Dak right now. The guy he went out there and played his heart out and led this team back into the game. And as to your point, Newy, with this division, I mean, I think it was at the beginning of the year, I thought it was a 2-man race. I thought it would be between Dallas and I thought it would be between Philly. Now, the rash of the injuries that Philly faced on that offensive line, you can tell right now it's starting to rear its ugly head. But even with those guys healthy, I'm looking at Carson Wentz and I just don't know if he has it right now. So to me, I'm thinking Washington, they even look better than Philly right now. Dwayne Haskins looks like he's doing a little bit better of a job than Wentz right now at the quarterback position. And we can't sleep on Washington's defense at all. But for right now, after week 2, I'm saying right now the division, it's kind of up in the air right now, but I got to give it to the Cowboys for a slight edge over Washington. But Philly, they just look downright disgusting right now.
When I look at Philadelphia.
I got you.
No, Danny, go ahead. Hit me.
No, I would say I still got us first and Philly second. They played the Rams, who played well against us last week, and then they ran into the Washington, front 7, who we'll see how good they really are. So I don't think they had easy games so far. And what we do know about Carson Wentz and the Eagles is they can start off however they want to, bad or good, but they know how to get some games rolling together. So I'm not going to count them out yet, but I do think that we are the team to beat in the division.
Philadelphia's talent, in my opinion, has been a little bit overrated. They thought that, okay, we've got these weapons now, because they were saying in the offseason, okay, what you have to do is get Carson some speed down the field. Okay, so Deshaun Jackson's back after being hurt last year. They draft Jalen Reagor. I'm not seeing it right now. And I'm also not seeing them control the line of scrimmage. The Rams came out there and basically did to Philly even worse what they did to the Cowboys. I mean, they punched him in the mouth with the run, and then they attacked him over the middle of the defense. That's where Higbee was sitting up here making 3 touchdowns and living on it. So Philly's got some warts that they've got to cover up. And then as far as the outside goes, fine. You got Darius Slay, who's good on the outside, but they're in the middle, man. That middle area is soft, and you can attack Philadelphia there. They've got some warts. And we'll see if Doug Peterson can cover them up. But one of the biggest things, Doug Peterson can't go out here and play for Carson Wentz. He's got to be better. You cannot throw a pick in the end zone. You just can't do it. And I think it was Fuller, the kid that ended up making that play on CeeDee Lamb when the Cowboys went for it on 4th and 3 instead of kicking the field goal to make it a 20-20 game. He made another good play. I think he was the one who made the interception in the end zone. No, it was a different player. It was a different player. But look, the Rams are playing good football. And maybe we wrote the Rams off too quick. And you start looking at that NFC West right now. I picked Seattle to win the division. They're 2-0. They get the Cowboys this week. The 49ers.
Arizona looks good.
Yeah, Arizona is 2-0, looking good. They beat the 49ers week 1, then they beat Washington. Then you've got San Francisco, who lost week 1 to Arizona. They beat the Jets, but boy, they lose Nick Bosa to a knee injury. Raheem Mostert's going to miss a couple weeks. They're saying Bosa's probably going to be out for the year. Jimmy Garoppolo's got a high ankle sprain. They've already had some receivers here who are down. So the 49ers are they're having some issues like they had the past. Last year they didn't have any, but the previous 2 seasons before, injuries really hurt them. So the Rams and Arizona, and by the way, I picked Arizona to make the playoffs. The Rams and Arizona could be in this thing, and who knows where the Niners fall depending on where they're going. So, and we got another playoff team this year, so it's going to be real interesting on how that NFC West shakes out here. After 2 games, the Cowboys look as though, like last year, in terms of if you do your part, you should win the division. They didn't do their part last year. But with everything that's going on here, they should win this division, especially if they can get some guys healthy, in my opinion. Hey, let's take another break. We'll take our final break here and want to get back into one of my unsung heroes of the game. I got 3 guys I want to talk about who I think are unsung heroes of this football game that we kind of didn't talk about that we need to. And we'll look ahead to the Seattle Seahawks. Newy Scruggs, it's Barry Church, Danny McCray. You're listening to the Players Lounge right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys and your favorite football team.
Get yours today at shop.dallascowboys.com or at stetson.com.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down, based on GWS One score September 2019.
To Dallas's frontline responders, thank you. To show its gratitude, Tide is offering free laundry services in Dallas to the families of frontline responders. Simply bring your laundry and your identification to Tide Cleaners, and they will wash it within 2 days. One thing less for you to worry about. While you take care of us all, Tide will take care of the laundry for the families of frontline responders. To learn more and find a location near you, visit hope.tidecleaners.com.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
To the Players Lounge.
Cinema Drive-Ins brings the classic nostalgia of a drive-in movie to the Star. Enjoy all the features of these timeless outdoor theaters in a safe, innovative environment with the latest technology, stunning visuals, and the latest and greatest Hollywood blockbusters. New movies are featured every weekend in the Gaylord lot at the Star in Frisco. For details, visit thestarinfrisco.com. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. By the way, you can hit us up on social media anytime. On Twitter, I'm at Newy Scruggs. It's NewyScruggs. It's NewyScruggs. Church, tell everybody where they can hit you at.
You can hit me at Instagram and Twitter at Barry Church 42. That's Barry Church at Barry Church 42.
McCray?
Yeah, I'm getting a little echo in the background. You can hit me at Danny DMac 44 on Twitter, and then you can hit me at Danny_McCray 40 on Instagram.
All right. 3 guys that, to me, were unsung heroes. I mean, obviously, we know about Dak Prescott and what he did, but just, in the course of a comeback like this, there's guys doing some things and they're doing their part. Dalton Schultz, the tight end, set a single game and career best in receptions with 9, receiving yards 88, also recording his first ever touchdown reception late in the fourth quarter. And then I think about the tackle, right tackle Terrence Steele, the rookie, making his second start for the Cowboys. And then on the other side, you have Brandon Knight starting at left tackle for the first time this season and the second overall NFL start for him in his 2 years in the NFL. These guys, especially once Takk McKinley went out, were able to help keep Dak Prescott clean. Atlanta only had 1 sack and 4 quarterback pressures. So what those guys did on the offensive line, I can't say enough of, because I remember what happened last year in the Jets game when Lel Collins and Tyron Smith missed that game and the Cowboys were not able to get themselves a victory. They were able to get themselves a victory on Sunday. So I look at those 3 guys and I just say, hey, very good job, unsung heroes, as the Cowboys come back and win 40-39. Who do you guys have?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and piggyback on that, man, because both Dalton Schultz and those two guys, I mean, they played phenomenal. I'm gonna be honest. After that first fumble from Dalton Schultz, man, I was the first one out there talking about, oh, this guy's trash. Get him off the field. He can't do nothing out there. But I mean, he showed up to play. Like you said, 9 receptions, 88 yards, and a touchdown. He showed that he had the same type of grit and scrap that the rest of this team had, especially with the injury to Blake Jarwin. I mean, we finally had a tight end that can threaten the seams, that can be a mismatch nightmare, and then he was supposed to be a big weapon for us this year, but we lose him for the entire year. All Dalton Schultz did was, the first game in, he had a couple drops, and then he fumbled this one, so he could have easily mailed it in, but he went out there, got 9 catches, 88 yards, and a TD, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the top 3 leaders in receptions and yards for that game. And then you mentioned the 2 tackles out there, the 2 young guys. I mean, one making his second start, and I think the other one was making his first start. But early in that game, I mean, they could have mailed it in as well. The edges were under attack. I mean, Takk McKinley on one side, Dante Fowler on the other side. They were having Dak Prescott out there running for his life. But like you said, it was a tale of 2 halves. And in the second half, they were able to bounce back and pretty much shore up that offensive line to give Dak the ability to attack Atlanta downfield. So all 3 of those guys, I mean, they played heck of a game. So hopefully they'll be able to continue that throughout the year.
Yeah, and I agree with y'all. So I don't want to say the same people. So what I'm gonna do is, I believe it was Noah Brown with the big catch and run. That was a big play. When your number is called, sometimes you just get one opportunity. He got his opportunity. He made the most of it. So I'm gonna give him that. I also, man, listen, the defense gave up 39 points, but I think they played way better than they played last week. I think they made some huge plays. They stopped the run.
I agree.
These linebackers, they got in there and they did what they had to do. Jalen Smith made a good play in the pass game. They did some stuff, that they didn't do, that they didn't show the first week that they could build off of. The young secondary, they battled, they fought, they gave us some catches, but they showed that they had no quit in them, and they'll fight, scratch, and claw. And my third one is going to go to the great Dan Quinn, man. He told Mike McCarthy, look, hey, hold my beer. You think you're doing something? Hold my beer. Let me show you how to really do this. So he's an unsung hero for us because without him, what they say, without him, none of this would be possible.
The great Dan Quinn, man. The ultimate folder, man.
Dan Quinn was like, no, I'm a special at this. This is what I do. Okay, this is what I do. Okay, let me show you. I mean, and literally, Jeff Schultz, who writes for the Athletic down in Atlanta, he's covered Atlanta sports for a long time, and he wrote a column. And the basic thing he wrote in the column is, this feels like this is really the end. And you're going back and looking at what they've done since the Super Bowl. He put their record out. I think it's like 10 and 20 something. But the bottom line is Dan Quinn is done much in the same way that Mike Smith was done. You reach this point, you get here, and once you don't break through, you just kind of keep on falling down. And so they were given the opportunity to come back and try and do it one more time. And look, they can say all the platitudes and we've got to just go back and do the work, but it's not working. They're not going to be better this year than the Saints. They're not going to be better this year than Tampa. And Rich McKay, who's now, overall, he's over the GM Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn. Look, McKay's going to tell Arthur Blank, fire him. So right now I'm telling you, there's going to be a job opening in Atlanta, and there's going to be a job opening in Detroit because the GM Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia are terrible. He fired Jim Caldwell. Bob Quinn said 9-7 is not good enough. Matt Patricia's now in his third season with Detroit. He's only won 9 total games. They can't even get to 9-7. They'd be lucky if they could get to 7-9. So there's going to be some job openings. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to give you a name of a guy who I could easily see being the head coach in Atlanta. Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was offered the job from Arthur Blank, which he turned down to stay with the Cowboys, and they ended up hiring Mike Smith for that job. So I think if given an opportunity, I think Jason Garrett could very well be the next head coach in Atlanta. He's already gone through the process with Rich McKay and Arthur Blank. So keep in mind, you heard it here. You heard it here first, baby.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. So what do y'all think that says about the coaching staff? I mean, like, there's 2 huge just comeback victories, and then that special teams that onside. How do you not jump on the ball? I mean, I know the rules are that it has to go 10 yards before the kicking team can jump on it. But what goes through their mind right there? Maybe Danny, maybe you can attest to that, but to why they wouldn't want to jump on that. It just blew my mind on that one.
Yeah. So let me dissect that for y'all, man. Let me dissect this onside kick, because this is a play that's worked on. It's worked on about once a week, right? On Saturdays, you get out there, and this is where you do the onside kick. You bring the vets out there, and you get them ready, right? So I'm blaming this. The first person I'm blaming this on is Julio Jones. The second group of people that I'm blaming this on are the people who's supposed to be blocking for him. And if you look at it, we actually did everything wrong, and so did the Falcons, right? The people who are on the line, what you're supposed to do, this is why they call it the most dangerous play in football, right? Because if you're the kicking team, you're supposed to go take out everybody that's across from you and let a guy run behind and scoop the ball, right? So you're supposed to eliminate everybody in front of you. We didn't touch a soul. If you're the other team, you're supposed to clear the way for Julio Jones to be able to make a clear catch. So you're supposed to run up and you're supposed to hit the opposing team, clear the way, and let Julio do what he does. Neither team touched anybody, right? Everybody just kind of looked, and CJ was the guy who was supposed to be going to battle with Julio, and CJ just beat Julio, but Julio's just sitting there waiting. Like, his main job, because what you tell the front line is, don't worry about the ball. We got somebody with hands who's going to sit back here and catch the ball, right? So Julio's only job was to scoop the ball, and the people in front of him job was to go hit the people that play for the Cowboys. Nobody did any of that. And the reason they didn't get the ball is because usually when that thing rolls like that, it doesn't go 10 yards. 9 times out of 10, when that ball is rolling, it goes about 7, and then it dies, and then that's just an easy play. They were waiting for that ball to die, and it never died, and it bit them in the butt. That's what happened.
Hey, my boy Julio, my boy made a business decision, man. He was like, hold on, man. My hamstrings are already hurting. I got these linebackers running at me, running 4-5s, running at me, about to blow me up, man. Hey, y'all take care of that. Y'all handle that, man.
But Church, you see, if you see our squad, bro, we didn't want to touch nobody either.
Yeah, no, our squad ain't do nothing. I think that was, I don't know what number it was, but he screamed past everybody, the ball, the Atlanta front 7, Julio. He ain't touch a soul in there, and then turned around and looked, and nobody had the ball yet, and he was just like, man, I guess I'll stand around with the rest of y'all. So that was a terrible outside kick.
It was all wrong on both sides. It worked out for us. But we didn't touch a soul. They didn't touch a soul. We didn't clear the lane for nobody, and we just ended up getting the ball first. It was bad, but it worked out for us. Somebody was sitting at home with that Buffalo Wild Wings button, except they gonna keep hitting that button until the Cowboys win. So they made the ball, you know, bounce a certain way. They made Atlanta do dumb stuff, and they just kept hitting the button until the Cowboys won, and we made it happen. So good for us, but that was horrible execution.
That was one of the luckiest games I've ever seen in my life, man. For somebody to take, I don't know if y'all are Olympic, but for somebody to get a curling, you ever seen curling in the Olympics? How they shoot that little thing down there? I don't know how they made a football act like that, but it was the same thing. It was just slowly, just matriculating its way until it crossed the 10, man. I've never seen anything like it, dude. It was unreal.
And you don't touch us. Listen, if Joe DeCamillis was in that room, everybody would get cursed out. Everybody was getting cursed out. You was getting called all type of weak whatever because your main goal is to go out there and be a football player and hit the guy that you assigned to hit. And I didn't hear a pad smack at all. It was crazy to watch. It was crazy to watch.
I'll end the show with this. It was a good point made by former Dallas Cowboys scout Brian Broaddus, where he said the Cowboys were very smart to make sure they kicked that ball towards their side of the field versus Atlanta's side, where the Atlanta coaches could have yelled at their own players, get on the ball, get on the ball. So that didn't happen. So, hey, Bones Fossil and Greg Zuerlein, special teams, already making two pretty good plays, and then Zuerlein with the game-winning field goal. Hey, that is the Players Lounge here on a Victory Monday. Danny McCray, former Dallas Cowboys safety, Barry Church, former Dallas Cowboys safety, and me, longtime Cowboy reporter Newy Scruggs. We appreciate you. We'll do it again tomorrow at 2:30 Central Time right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.